Conda, breakthrough strategist and founder of the Unstoppable You Revolution, here with today's breakthrough moment. And today I am asking you to consider this question. What have you been allowing to stand in your way? Now, I want you to really reflect on that word allowing as I share a transparency moment from my own life. Now, this is a big transparency moment for me because I am sharing with you today something that I have never shared with anyone before, but I'm doing it in the hopes that you'll have a shift in your perspective. I'm hoping that after I share today, that you'll begin to see your obstacles differently and you'll be able to more fully live in the purpose for which God created you. All right? So those are the goals of today's breakthrough moment. Here's my transparency story. A few years ago, when I became really serious about living in my purpose, I'm talking about not just having it as a hobby or something I did on the side, but really getting serious about fully living in my purpose, I became obsessed with my weight. Now, this was something that had never been a problem for me before. I never cared about it before, but as soon as I got serious about prospering in my purpose and fully living out my passions, that's when it popped up. At the time, I was a size 12, and I can remember thinking, Benicia, you are not getting on anybody's stage as a size 12. Now, that thought came to me because a big part of the vision God gave me to fulfill my purpose was to speak, to inspire and equip others to live their best lives on a stage. And so my answer to that was, you're not getting on anybody's stage as a size 12. And I didn't say it as a rebellious type of thing to God. I said it as, I'm going to get prepared to really do this thing. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. And I'm not going to do it at this weight. So for the first part of that year, I focused more on coaching. Anything I could do behind the computer screen or over the phone, that's what I did. Now, when I got to my mid-year review, I was looking back over the past 6 months of that year, and I realized two things. The first thing I realized was that I was not meeting my income projections. Now, I was doing okay, all right? I was making progress. I was definitely doing better than the year before, but I wasn't doing what I know I could have been doing. The second thing that I realized during that mid-year review was that I was no longer a size 12 anymore. I was now a size 14. In 6 months, I'd gone up 2 sizes. And so I'm sitting there in that mid-year meeting with myself and I'm saying, okay, what needs to change? What needs to shift? And in my own perspective, it was, you need to work harder. You need to focus more on building this coaching clientele, get really serious about marketing your coaching practices and services, and do that full on, become more effective in that area. And I also looked at, you have to get really serious about this weight thing. You've been playing with it. You have to go to the gym every day. You have to make sure that you're eating right. You have to do all of these things. And as I was sitting down, revising my goals and writing new goals, because my plan was, okay, for the rest of this year, I'm going to focus more on coaching and I'm going to focus more on losing the weight so that next year I can really do this speaking thing. So as I was there revising my goals and reshifting my focus, God spoke to me and said, Benicia, it's not about the weight. It's about your purpose. And it was like a lightning bolt hit me. And I was like, yeah, you're right, God. It's not about the weight. It's about my purpose. And I realized I had spent the past 6 months saying that I was really serious about living my purpose, but focusing on something that was taking me away from fully living in my purpose. So I tore up those goals and I started writing new goals. I started pursuing the speaking more. I started being on more stages, speaking anywhere and everywhere that I could. And what I discovered at the end of the year were 2 more things. First, I discovered that I was more in line with the projections for my income. I was thriving more in my business. The second thing, I realized that I was still a size 14. I hadn't lost any weight, but I was thriving. And it solidified the fact that it was indeed not about the weight. It was about my purpose. God wanted me to fulfill my purpose just the way I was, because he had someone who needed to hear it from me just the way I was. Now, I know that I'm committing the ultimate woman sin, right? I am sharing with you about my weight and my size and all that kind of stuff. But again, I'm doing that in the hopes that you can have a shift in your perspective, because a lot of times what happens is that when we set out to fully live our purpose, resistance comes. And it comes in the form of things that we need to change about ourselves. Things that have to be just right before we can fully step into it. For me, it was my weight. And it was me focusing on having the right package before I could speak on a stage. Now, for you, it may be something totally different. It might be the fact that you think you have to fully get out of debt before you can live in your purpose, or that you have to have a certain education level, or that you have to meet the right people, or any number of things. I'm not sure what it is for you, but I'm going back to the question I asked before. What have you been allowing to stand in your way? God wants to use you just as you are right now. The other stuff will take care of itself. And if it doesn't, you don't need it. What you do need is to live in your purpose. Now, I've shared a lot today. I want to hear from you now. In the comments below, share with me 3 things. First, what is your purpose? You may call it your vision, your mission, your goals, whatever. But what is that thing that God has placed inside of you to do? Second, tell me what you've been allowing to stand in your way. And then third, what are you going to do about it? Share those answers in the comments below. And I want you to remember about the Unstoppable You Revolution. Look, if you are ready to eradicate all of those obstacles and roadblocks that have been standing in the way to you living your biggest, boldest dreams, then the Unstoppable Revolution is for you. Go over to unstoppableyourevolution.com and claim your free membership today. Yes, membership is free. So head over to unstoppableyourevolution.com. While you are claiming your free membership, I want you to share. Share this video. Share the Unstoppable You Revolution. Share, share, share. This is a movement. We are galvanizing a tribe of amazing people all around the world to live with an abundance of passion, purpose, power, and prosperity. So definitely share the revolution. Well, that's it for today's breakthrough moment. I will be back again with you really soon. But until then, I want you to remember that it's not about the obstacle. It's about your purpose. Fully living your purpose today.